Yeah, okay. So, let's start again. Hello everyone, this is Shamsi and welcome to the build guide and setup guide for the warp cell production facility. Again, this is all based off of a design that was put up on Reddit by a wonderful user called bruciwonderful. Do please go and upvote his post. 35 upvotes for this level of kindness to the community is a bit low. I love it when people give of their own brain power to help improve the community as a whole. Given the meta with PvP and hauling right now, everyone needs a warp cell production facility of their own. Uh, so, um, do please go and upvote that post on Reddit. It has various different pictures. So, for instance, we have all requirements here, though I have in a previous spreadsheet video, which I don't blame you for not watching. Um, I have all the requirements in terms of ingots set out here, and he's got this nicely laid out little plan in the post. But in order to make things a little easier for myself to follow, I have made a spreadsheet of it all. Ignore this bit. I was planning to put in raw ore to get warp cells out, but that doesn't look to be possible given the link constraints. So let's build from our spreadsheet, and we start the story by basically placing container 0, 3 chemical factories, 3 glass furnaces, and 3 smelters. I'm going to keep container 0 as... actually what I'm going to do for container 0, just so I can dump a whole load of stuff in there to let it start building. I'm going to place maybe 3 large containers and link them together. Wait, did I put in the gas requirements here? I did not. So, hydrogen and oxygen. I don't know the amounts required. I'll just dump what I have in. It'll be fine. Right, so the start of the factory... I'll just pop it anywhere for now and move it later on. I'll pop it there. The start of the factory is going to be this container hub, which is materials in. Rename element factory in. Oh, let's just call it container 0 for the sake of consistency with the spreadsheet. So we currently have 3 large containers worth of ore, ingots, and gas and other things that I want to put in. And the start of the story here is going to be 3 smelters, 3 glass furnaces, and 3 chemical industries. So let's start with the chemical industries since they're the largest. Turn on my headlight. I don't know if that'll do much good. It is night here. Always seems to be night when I'm recording, which isn't great. I don't want it to pop through the side of the pyramid, but I want it to be fairly flush. So there's 1. Are they lined up? There's 2. They are more or less lined up. There's 3. And they all require an input from container 0. I'll sort out the outputs in just a moment. Next is 3 smelters. It doesn't need to be right up against the edge, this will do. There's 2. And 3. And they also need a connection in from this container hub here. And finally, we have 3 glass furnaces in the first stage of production here. So let's get, I'll put them here. Will I? Yes. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Okay. They similarly need a connection from container 0. Okay, let's get their containers down. So we have alloys going into container 1, glass going into container 2, and plastic going into container 4. We'll use mediums for these. Let's get some room. We're not exactly starved for space, so let's space it out just a little bit. That's 1. 2. And 3. One of these is going to be called, let me minimize this. In fact, let me just close this now. So one of them is going to be called container 1. Rename properties C1. And that's where the smelters are going to output our alloys. Our alloys, I'll set up production later. And then one of them is going to be called C2. That's where the glass furnaces are going to be outputting our glass. It's 1, 2, 3. Let's just double check. C2 in from 0 out to 2. In from pick it up, press backspace to refresh everything. It's coming in from 0, going out to 2. Server light got me there. So out to 2, in from 0. Finally, we have our chemical industries taking in from 0 and putting out to container 4, C4. So that's 1, 2, 3. Again, huge thanks to bruciwonderful for sharing this on Reddit a little while ago. I've made this spreadsheet out of his design. I will link to his post on Reddit in just a little bit. Now, Each of these containers, each of these three containers here, are going to be producing catalyst 3. So I'm going to put a container out to the side here, separate it a little bit. I'm going to rename it catalyst relay. Actually, will that have enough connections to just take the 3? Probably, because it's only... Yeah. Let me give it a try that way. So what I want is catalyst 3 transferred from these 3 over here. And these 3, containers 2, 4, and 1, don't have that many connections going out of them. So it should be fine. So we have containers 3, 6, 7 there. Yeah, it should be okay. Let's give it a try, and if it doesn't work, we'll tinker with it later. So we need... oh god, the frame rate. It's to do with the placing of the elements, I believe. So that's one transfer unit. Should we go this way? 2 transfer units. And 3 transfer units. Now I want these all inputting, and these all outputting. So it's catalyst 3, apply, just run. I don't need to maintain any in that other container. So catalyst 3, apply, run. Again, the reason for this is in each of our productions for glass, alloy, and chemical, there's going to be one recipe that requires catalyst 3 as an input material, and also there is produced from those same recipes a catalyst 3. So once I seed the production with 3 catalyst 3s, they should produce the catalysts themselves that they need to run, assuming these transfer units take the catalysts out of their output box, put them back into their input box. So now we have stage 1 complete. So this is what we need to put into it, but we'll come back to that later. I'm not sure if I have everything. I can go buy it. Stage 2 is 3 electronics facilities and 3 glass furnaces. So let's move forward just a little bit so there's some visual gap here. We don't need to be miserly with space. We have plenty of it here. And then let's line these up. I think this one just needs to move forward a touch. There we go. And then the next one in this production chain step is 3 glass furnaces. Man, that frame rate really dips when I play something for a little while. There we go. So, production chain 2, the electronics need a connection in from container 1, and the glass furnaces all need a connection in from container 2. So this is container 1. Let's double check. Yep. This is container 2. Yep. And then I need to put their output boxes, and their output boxes are going to be three different boxes. Sorry, no, two different boxes. Container 3 and container 3B. That's 1. That's 2. Container 3. Container 3B. Now, in container 3B, there is going to be, in fact, let's just take a moment to set up production here so everything is nice and organized. So these are making plastics. We'll go polycarbonate, apply, maintain 5,000. These are making polycalcite, apply, maintain 5,000. And this makes polysulfide. Apply, maintain 5,000. Okay, now this makes alpha. Apply, maintain 5,000. The next one is calcium reinforced copper. Apply, maintain 5,000. And the last one is coag, which is, I believe, copper and silver. Coag alloy tier 3, maintain 5,000. There we go. And then finally we have the glass. We have normal glass, tier 1, maintain 5,000. We have advanced glass, tier 2, and we'll maintain 5,000 there. And then tier 3 glass is something agly reinforced glass, so silver and lithium, along with silicon to make, and catalyst 3 to make tier 3 glass. So that's all our tier 3 production set up. And then we have our containers here. So 2 of the electronics industries are going to be connected to container 3, which is this one. That's the one that's making basic connector and uncommon connector. Maintain 5,000. Common connector, maintain 5,000. Now these are going to output into container 3. This last one is making basic components. Apply, maintain 5,000. And that's going out into container 3B. And then the glass furnaces are reversed. One of them is making uncommon LED. Maintain 5,000, and that is going into container 3. The other 2 are making basic LEDs. Maintain 5,000. And that is going into container 3B. Maintain 5,000. Right. Connect those to container 3B. And that is stage 2 all set up. Let's just double check one from each quickly. 3B, container 2, container 1, 3B, basic components. Right. And then container 2 is glass. Yeah. So I can see the connections going from the glass furnaces to container 2. Okay, so that's all correct. we can come back and recheck it, or when we set it up and it's not working, we can then troubleshoot. But for now, let's say stage 2 is complete. So stage 3, we need 3 glass furnaces and 3 3D printers. So let's set them up this way, nice and neatly in the middle there, a little further forward. As I said, we're not starved for space, so let's space things out a bit, live a little. We are not on an extra small or small core anymore. We've moved up in the world. So 3D printer and glass furnace, and then each one of these can have a glass furnace next to it. They're not perfectly lined up. I would like them to be at least reasonably lined up. So let's do that. And then that's 3 glass furnaces and 3 3D printers placed. Let's sort out their inputs. So all of them need a connection to 3B, and one of them also needs a connection to container 3 for the 3D printers. So that's container 3. That's going into this first one here. This also needs a connection to 3B, and the other 2 are getting a connection from 3B only. They also need a connection from container 4. Container 4 was this one at the end. Let's just double check. Correct. So let's connect container 4 to the 3D printers. Now, this is the one that had a connection from container 3 as well as 3B, and that is the one that is producing our advanced quantum core. So recipe advanced quantum core unit there, apply, and the reason it needs a connection to 3B and 3 is because it needs both of these LEDs, and we'll maintain let's say 500 of these. Start. So that's advanced quantum core unit. Then we need basic and uncommon. So let's go in descending order. Uncommon, maintain 500, and basic quantum core unit, maintain 500. So that's their inputs and recipes set up. Now we'll do their outbox in just a moment. And then the last one for this stage is glass furnaces, and they all only need a connection from containers 3 and container 2. Yes, so this is what they require, and this is what they'll produce. Let's set that up. So basic, uncommon, and advanced, and they need a connection to 3 and 2. So container 3 was this one on the left here. Yes. Connected to all 3 of those. That's where they'll get their LEDs and stuff, I believe. And container 2 was here in the middle, correct? Connect them all up to that. Double check again. I needed a connection to containers 3 and container 2. And that's what we have. So these make basic, uncommon, and advanced antimatter something or others. Antimatter. Huh. Yes. So basic antimatter capsule. Yep. Apply. Maintain 500. Again, if anyone does have any questions, feel free to shout them out. Then uncommon antimatter capsule, apply, maintain 500. So we have basic there, uncommon here, and we have advanced antimatter capsule, maintain 500 here. Now all of these output to a container called container 5. Let's again just space out a little so it's nice and uncramped. So let's connect these all to container 5. And then let's move container 5 somewhere that makes a little more sense. Okay, I can live with that. And then that's this stage completed, stage 3. So we're up to stage 4, and things are speeding up nicely for us now. We're almost at the end of the setup. We have 4 lots of electronics to make advanced antimatter core units. So let's set those up first. They will need a connection from container 5, container 3B, and container 1. Container 1 was here at the edge. Container 3B was here at the end. So here at the end, sorry. Always double check. Container 3B. And then container 5 was here. Did I not rename this? No, I did not. So let's just double check. This is outputting into container 37M, and it should be outputting to container 5 here. So let's rename this one container 5. And these all need a connection from container 5. And we'll set out their output in just a moment. So that's the first line of 4. So these should be the last 4 connections left on container 3B. Then they need containers 4 and container 5. So let's get them down first of all. Right. So container 3B, let's do that first because I haven't done the math. So moment of truth time to see if container 3B is oversubscribed for links. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, I believe it is oversubscribed by 1. So what can we do to fix that? I suppose one thing we can do is stop this facility here from creating basic components into sending basic components into 3B. So let's double check here. So basic components. What needed the basic components? So polycarbonate, plastic, basic LED, basic LED, basic LED. Yeah. It must, I messed up the building of this. I didn't put the containers here. It must be one of these. So this is making advanced antimatter core units. Yeah, and that's what requires the basic components. maintain 500, maintain 500. In fact, no. Let's redo these. So right now, server decided to lag. Right. So right now, container 3B has too many outgoing connections for it. I cannot delete running industry. That makes more sense. Stop. Oh dear. This is properly lagged. Alright, let's ignore that for the moment. So, basic components. Stop. Let's look at the connections here. This is a connection from the basic component production facility into container 3B. We're going to cut that. We're going to be slightly wasteful with our containers here and add a whole medium container just for uncommon connector. So now it's putting out into container, component. I'll call it components. Components container. So uncommon components are now being output into this box here. And so when I am able to pick this back up again, this is bugged. Alright. For the time being, I'm just gonna, but then it's gonna consume links. Let's see if I can cut all of its links. Yes. 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 Let's move this nice and out of the way for the moment. And I don't have an 8th in my pack, so let's go get one. I'll relog and delete my cache. That element should reload and that should hopefully fix it. But for now, let's go back over here. And grab, oh, I had one, that's lucky. Grab our electronics facility again. So because container 3B had more than 10 links going out of it, it couldn't work. So now I've added a third container here called basic components, or component container. And that's the only thing that's going to be here. It's coming out of this facility. And the only things that need basic component are the first row of electronics here. Basic component. That's the only thing that needs basic component. So let's replace these. Got to be careful with industry now because they seem to be bugging. That's not lined up. There we go. Close enough. Right. So now these no longer need a connection from 3B. They need a connection from component container. The only things in container 3B are basic components and uncommon and common LEDs. These don't need any LEDs, and now basic components are no longer in 3B. So that means these here don't need a connection to 3B. They do, however, need a connection to here, which is the basic component storage. It's incredibly wasteful for me to use a medium container for this rather than a small, but hey, whatever on that account. Right, so they have basic components in, so we need container 5 and container 1. Container 1 was at the end here. Double check these are going in the right direction. Yep. And container 5 was right here. Don't need to check the direction of these links because container 5 has very few links. And yeah, it all seems to be moving in the right direction. Let's just double check here on the containers. In C1, C5, and component C. Perfect. And then I need 3B, container 4 and container 5 connected to the other 4 electronics. That's because these need the basic LEDs that are in container 3B. Okay, so it was 3B, 4, and 5. 4, if you recall, was, I think, this one here, or maybe the one behind it. Yeah, the one behind it. So container 4 that is now connected to that. So here the link tool is bugging out a bit. So this one has a connection to container 4. It looks like it does. Huh. I don't like how the server is acting right now. Container 4. Unless I'm doing something wrong. Let's have a look here. It has one connection going out. We are about to perform a hotfix. Okay, let's pause the recording here and then come back after the hotfix when hopefully the server issues won't be as significant. All right. Be right back, everyone. Sorry for the interruption. Right. Welcome back, everyone. Sorry about that server interruption. Hopefully the hotfix has fixed whatever gremlins were harassing the hamsters within the inner workings of their servers. So let's see if we can pick this up now. Stop. Yay. All right. So let me try to remember where we were. These first sets of electronics industries that live here in the production chain, making advanced antimatter core units, are set up. So they need a connection from component C, which they have, C5 and C1, which they have, and they all make advanced antimatter core unit. So advanced antimatter core unit, apply, maintain 500. They don't have an output box yet, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Antimatter core unit 500. Advanced antimatter core unit 500. Okay, So with the exception of the output box for these, that's all set up. Now, second one need C5, C4, and C3B. So 3B was here. No, that's container for components. I should really replace that with a small container, but I can't be fussed at the moment. So let's check the directions are all good. Yep. So that's 3B connected. We need container 4, which is, I believe, this one at the end. Correct. Again, let me just double check the direction. The directions are all good. Those are kind of intertwining. That's all good. And then C5, which I think is this one here. Or is it 6? No, it's 5. 2, 3, 4. Again, direction of travel for the links all looks okay. And these are producing quantum alignment units. Advanced quantum alignment unit, maintain 500 or 90. There we go. Quantum alignment unit. Microphone is in the way of my keyboard, and though I can touch type text, I do need to more or less see what button I'm pressing on the actual keyboard. Advanced quantum alignment unit 500. I need to see what button I'm pressing when I'm typing numbers. Okay, so now these need an outbox. Let's get that set up. I shall rename it in a moment. This is going to be container 6. And this feeds into 4 glass factories that are the final production step, which make our actual warp cells. They all need a connection to container 6. And again, I want to be able to just, I don't know what is causing that lag when I try to place elements, but there is lag when I try to place elements. There we go. That's uncomfortable. Right, let's set up the links into the output box. So because I want to just be able to let it run, I'm going to use a large container here. Warp cells. Let's set the production. Just keep running. Make as many as there are resources to make. And there we have it. We have our warp cell production facility. Let me get rid of the links so it looks nice and neat. And yeah, the links themselves don't look too terrible. So let's recap. Smelters, glass furnaces and chemical factories put alloys, glass and plastic into 3 containers. Electronics facilities and glass furnaces put basic LEDs into container 3B, advanced LEDs, uncommon LEDs into container 3, components, so we went and put down another container for our basic components because 3B, where basic components were going before, had too many outgoing links, so we separated that out. And then we have connectors, basic and uncommon, going to container 3 there. We have glass furnaces and 3D printers making all levels of antimatter and quantum core units here, basic, uncommon, and advanced. And then we have 4 electronics to make antimatter core and 4 electronics to make quantum alignment units, and then 4 glass furnaces. 4 glass furnaces to make warp cells. And there we have it. Let's load things up. I shall set the intake container. Oh, I need to place that somewhere. Do I have any honeycomb here? No. Where am I going to put you? I shall put you here. Nice and neat. Out of the way. I shall declare you as my linked container. I should probably go through and double check everything, but I can do that off stream and save you having to watch me open and close a bunch of industry units. Right, so there's hydrogen, oxygen. Right. I need aluminium, iron, silicon, and carbon. I need lithium. I need calcium and copper. Need sulfur, lithium, and silver. So sulfur, silver, lithium, copper, calcium, carbon, silicon, iron, aluminium. Aluminium, iron, silicon, carbon, calcium, copper, sulfur, lithium, silver. All right, and then I need catalyst 3. So the system is self-sufficient for catalyst 3 because the things that require it produce it as well, and we have a transfer unit sending it all back to intake. So we need sodium, iron, sulfur. First of all, what produces this? It's in chemical industry M. So let's stop you from doing what you're doing and apply catalyst 3 for you. I want you to make 3, and your intake container is chemical industry relay. So in 41 minutes, we'll have, or 42 minutes, we'll have our first set of catalyst 3s that we're then able to feed into those industry pieces there. And welcome back, everyone. We have crafted entirely too much of catalyst 3 since we only need 1 liter per craft and we produce a liter by that craft. So we now have 3 chemical factories making 10 liters each, but that's fine. So we're going to wait for them to finish, pick them up, and then take them over to the warp cell production facility there. Now the eagle-eyed amongst you might notice that the sides of the pyramid are gone. That's because we had a slight pyramid design malfunction. So we're back to square one on that, but not to worry. The Pharaoh has already executed his chief architect, and we're working up on plans for how we're going to build our pyramid moving forward. So the Catalyst 3s should be done any moment. Come on, come on. There we go. Might as well wait for the other two. I'll keep them around for when I need them. Right. There is the container hub, and boom. Hello everyone, this is a brief postscript to show you the functioning warp cell production facility that we built together on this video. These two items in the start here aren't working because they've already reached the 5,000 units that they're meant to maintain. And this one at the end there is just waiting for more ingredients to come out of these electronics facilities that are constantly working. And if we go to the output box, we've already got 10 warp cells in a very short amount of time, so that should be a perfectly sufficient personal warp cell production setup. If you found this video useful or enjoy the content, please do consider subscribing to the channel on YouTube or following me on Twitch. But in any event, until the next time, thanks for watching and bye for now.